Today is the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. It's a United Nations-sponsored annual awareness day that takes place on February 6 as part of the UN's efforts to eradicate FGM. On this day of zero tolerance, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres is calling for an increased, concerted and global action to end the practice and fully uphold the human rights of all women and girls. In Uganda, the UN says the practice is reduced drastically, gone with evidence showing that over 95% of the communities where FGM was formerly practiced do not support the practice anymore. Back in 2018, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund said over 309 communities in Nigeria publicly declared they were stopping the practice. Joining us now is a medical doctor, Dr. Bukola Asoro, to enlighten us on FGM and its effects. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
FGM, sadly, is still widely practiced in some parts of the continent. Talk us through what FGM is for the benefit of those who might not know.
Yeah, thank you for having me once again. Apparently, female genital mutilation, as we all know, is an unhealthy traditional procedure which involves partial and total removal of the external female genitalia and which will actually cause injury to the genital organs. It is, for me, I would say it's a widely recognized violation of human rights, especially for women. In Nigeria, most women and girls, right from the age of infancy to about 15, are subjected to this obscure traditional practice.
Is done to these girls. Tell us, how dangerous is FGM on the girl child, especially its impact on their health in the long run?
Yeah. Before I go on to the impact, there are several types of FGM. We have type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Type 1, which is a clitoridectomy, which involves the removal of the clitoris. Type 2 is also called SUNA, which involves the removal of the clitoris and the labia minora. Type 3 is called infibulation, which is about removal of the clitoris, the labia minora, the medial part of the labia majora, and also most times they even do vaginal stitching, which I find very horrible. Type 4, they do all manner of procedures, from piercing, scraping, and this has had a number of effects on girls and women.
Dr. Bukola,
one of which is shock.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah, one of it is.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, one of it is shock from pain and bleeding, which is also known as hemorrhage. There's infection. There is acute urinary retention, whereby the individual is unable to pass urine properly following trauma. There's damage to the urethra or the anus, whereby with the individual, this girl involved is actually struggling with who's is performing the procedure, which causes damage to the urethra or anus. And there's also sexual dysfunction. There's issues of infertility later in life. Such women have issues with prolonged labor during delivery. Most of them also have mental and psychological agony. However, some girls or women will not complain, but may end up becoming withdrawn, resulting in marital disharmony, and some even end up committing suicide. So it's actually a very terrible thing to say, honestly.
Dr. Bukola, how can we stop this? Apart from the awareness created by the government, how else can communities be educated against this?
I mean, the people involved are not people living in the urban areas. They're mostly rural, uneducated, illiterate, who don't have access to information, who don't have access to social media. So we need to actually reach out to them in their community. Maybe talking to their local heads, maybe women and the head of their market, the community leaders, and this will even help by. And another thing, educating these children. Some of them attend local schools where they don't have access to internet. Going there to meet them. The government has really tried in partnership with UNICEF and other NGOs like WHO and all that. but they really need to meet these people, talk to their leaders, the leaders of the community. Those are the people that can reach out to the minority, reach out to the individual families. We can achieve this in 3 ways. Number one, we can strengthen the health sector response in Nigeria, whereby there should be guidelines, tools, training, and policies to ensure that health professionals can provide medical care and counseling to girls and women living with female genital mutilation. Also, building evidence, generating knowledge about the causes and consequences of this practice. And thirdly, increasing advocacy, developing publications and advocacy tools for local efforts to end FGM within a generation. If FGM is ended within one generation, it will move to the next generation.
Finally, just before I let you go, what is your message to communities still practicing FGM?
Let's stop. Let us stop this, call it madness. Let us stop it.
Yeah. Dr. Bukola, thank you so much for speaking to us on Network Africa. Still to come on the program. Ethiopian migrants stranded in Yemen return home. Please stay with us.